Hello and welcome to the BFS_PhD show for the tennis slate. French Open on the 27th, I think it is for everybody watching the video of May. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And let's do it together. This is the State Kings prep video for this big GPP. There'll be a few of these days where it's really fun in a row, so I'm going to enter packages for those. Also, the WNBA, pretty cool slate tomorrow as well. And with Caitlin Clark out, it's going to be a fun for a minute. Hearing beeping. Oh, I guess that's Discord in the background beeping at me constantly. I thought I muted that, so I don't know how to stop that. Hopefully, you're not hearing that. If you are, congratulations on hearing the beep. Okay, so, but yeah, I have WNBA package up. I don't have the tennis one yet because we don't have tennis up yet. The slate for the next day is up yet. Thank you again, everybody who joined me for the 20 we have today. First, I'll talk a little bit about, I guess, am I down here? No, that's all the text I've been doing. So, talk about the slate today and then move on to how we're building for tomorrow. Make sure I do actually have it building in the background. I do not. So, I will click the button. We'll come back here and check it out in a little bit. Okay, so the first thing was to look at who did the best, like who are the keys to the slate today? Well, Montgomery, key to the slate, 5% owned. Tomjanovic, 4% owned, and then Diallo. Now, 1.5. Not sure how much Diallo you're going to have unless you're running 150. I'm only running 20. And so, but the other two have something in common. They're about plus 200 favorites in U.S. Currency, whatever, U.S. odds. And that's been the case every time I've been doing this for a while now. Those are the most optimal on these big, 30, 24, what is it tomorrow? How many matches are on this slate? It's like a bunch of them. So, does it say, how easy is it to see? 30 games, 60 people is an absurd amount. Number one, make sure you're double checking dropouts, right? Because with 5% chance somebody gets sick, that's like 3 guys tomorrow. So just make sure you're keeping it, that you have that alarm set. If you're on the West Coast, I know it's early, but you got to have the alarm set because any edge is edge. And this edge in particular is important because if your guy's out, you're going to be hurting because we're going to have like 30% on some of these people. So the general strategy is the field seems to overlike slight dogs and not like enough the next layer of dog, the dog that is plus 200-ish. That is also pretty, it comes up a lot that they are optimal, like for instance, today and a lot. Okay, so I did also say, yeah, did well. If somebody's got to win that money, I might as well say I won my last $60 of tickets here for my half of our share of 400 shots for tomorrow. So, if you rank the salaries, the people's salary from low to high, just without looking at anything else on the slate, and just win percentage, and that's all. And I guess you should see the salary as well. That tells you the zone you want to be in, probably, right? Like you don't want to be taking a pure punt necessarily. Like these are more your Diallos, right? Maybe they pay off, but that's not always going to happen in a day. We're talking a 5% win probability. There's 30 games, so I mean, maybe a 5% pays off every time. Maybe I did just make it so I have a little bit of TN, I have a little bit of Harris, guaranteed now. I didn't in my first draft. But more I wanted to draw out that you have a lot of condensation up here with guys like Pissarro and Roca, who are fine, but they're close to nothing on the bone for these guys. Like, okay, so let's say half of their wins are straight set wins. Well, they better have no double faults and all the aces you expect from them, or else, and even if they do, you're not getting any positive leverage. So for me, a guy like Roca or Pissarro on a slate tomorrow, is a complete cross-off because there's just no meat on the bone for you there. Like, let's look at them. Well, hold on. I guess I got more to say. But I did cross both of them off when I did the run we just did right now. Other things that are, let's see. Yeah, that are important, recent form and or form on clay going into this tournament. So I am really uncertain about who is this? The first person. I think this is Osaka. No. I didn't do enough of leading on this, guys. Okay, so Kartal and Lee, these are guys who I think are just not are over owned for what they can give you. Did Ons? Okay, this is about Ons Jabeur. Yeah, yeah. So I'm worried about Ons. So I was trying to figure out where the noun was here. Ons has not had a win on clay this season, and when she's looked bad, she's looked really bad. So that's why we're smashing Frech tomorrow. Not really because of Frech, which is not really the way you want it to be, but Ons has looked just so shaky, and it's not a great surface for her anyway. I mean, when she's at her best, any surface is great for her. I'm not trying to say anything bad about Ons. I honestly I want her to look better than she has, but she hasn't looked good. She's losing to she lost to Uchuma. She lost in straight sets. I mean, Pauline's good, but Uchima is not good, and you shouldn't lose to her. So I don't know. I That is a worrisome loss to me. That is a Frech type loss. Well, a Frech is 25, like she's higher ranked than Uchima. So that's why we're going to have too much Frech tomorrow. The other concern is, yeah, whenever the field is way over certain about random matchup. So this is early enough in the French Open where we can still have Rando versus Rando. And to me, this Valentova Paquet matchup, Paquet, I don't even know how to pronounce either one of these people's names, but is the Rando versus Rando. And the field is going 17-3 on that Rando. So let's look up just to make sure that this is still true. Field going, I will have unclicked Valentova now 19% to the other person's percent is way, way, way down here. Frag, yeah, Paquet 3%. So now it's 19-3. It's even wider. So we're talking, I don't know why you would do that. Like just last week, the person that you have is the less likely here beat Anisimova and Sasnovich in straight sets. I mean, those are well, Anisimova retired. My bad. Zakharova is also the same level as whatever person she's playing this week, whose name I've forgotten because I don't care about either one of them. They're randos. So anyway, whenever the field is rando versus rando, and they're like rando, I just go rando, the other rando. So okay, I know that's exactly what you guys were hoping to hear from the PhD guy. Breakdown. Okay, and we only have. Let's look at our contests. So, right, I entered a few more. I'll have to make sure to update everything. But the 20 here is the one that we're doing together with the State Kings, the main GPP. 20K to first, so it's just, and everything else I just like win a couple of satellites or whatever. My best lineup, I put a couple, a little bit more behind that kind of horse. Okay, so now let's see, just from contest sims plus the ridiculous stuff I've told. Okay, so I don't want that much Maria Carley. What's our win percentage? 46%. We got no aces, lots of double faults. She's just a likely, I guess the odds are turning against Ann Lee. I guess this is kind of a rando situation as well, that people have taken a pretty firm stance. I guess pro Ann Lee, is that really what the field has done? Okay, they have, yeah. All right. Well, if that's I'm not going to have that much. 40% is outrageous. Like 15%, because like Carly's not anything spectacular. But if we assume half of your chance to win is your chance to win in straight sets, for her that's not all optimal because number one, her price is pretty respectable if I remember correctly, 7,200. So she needs to win in straight sets, and she needs to not give up like 5+ double faults, which is in the range of outcomes. So that's why I'm cutting off, even though I think 23% maybe her chance of straight sets, I'm going to cut her a little bit lower than that. Number one, I don't really know who she is. I don't feel it in my bones as much. Okay, so Buskoya versus Kalinskaya. That's another one where I don't really want this much. Win percentage is 40, so I don't want more than 20. 20s are straight sets percent, and she's got too many double faults. Yeah, so 15%. So we don't even want the straight sets amounts. We want just the amount that would be straight sets and very few double faults, which for her is less. So, okay, now we're getting to exactly more of what I was expecting to see at the top. Don't want this much Sierra. That seems like a lot. What's her 18% maybe? Yeah, I think 15% is fine for the most Solana Sierra, whatever this is. So I'm just reading down from the top of my exposures, making sure I like them. I know from before Fonseca, you can see the guys I boosted, right? Fonseca against Hurkacz. I think people just haven't watched Hurkacz play enough, and or it's not his surface, guys. He needs to blast you out of the water, and this is a slow surface. It's an opponent who's good on the surface. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. I also think the field is overly down on Felix. He's been bad in the past. I think he's on his way back. And what is that? Yeah, I mean, win percentage is the exact same method. I just think that in his wins, he gets a ton of aces. I don't understand. You got to have his straight set wins. Half of his wins being straight set. I don't know with it being 5 rounds, but whatever. Frech against Ons, you already heard why. Paquet against Valentova, again, that's similar kind of argument. I just need to have some of the side that the field is needlessly against. I like Kaboli. I'm not going to cut back any further on that. Just like the guy, Menchik, these are all fine. I guess this Erica Andreeva, that's a little rich for my blood. It's close. I mean, I'm gonna go 20 just to cut that down a little bit. Let my gut play a little role here. But yeah, let's see. Nobody's commenting on tennis. Okay, I'm gonna X this out because this is definitely what's making the noise. But yeah, tomorrow, 10 to 1 p.m. Pacific. That's the other thing I have here is when there would be a sweat. So that's the follow up to this. Pretty fun today. We had a little bit of a sweat about those last tickets, but it wasn't like a first place sweat like we'll hope we'll have tomorrow. Arnaldi, that's a little rich. I mean, if I'm going to be pretty heavy Felix, then I'll be okay having a little Arnaldi as well. Because I mean, Felix has looked bad. I'll acknowledge that, but I don't want to be. It's a stand I'm trying to make the other way, so I'm not going to go more than a coin flip against Felix. If anything, I think I don't want to be more than 15% Arnaldi, just because I don't really believe in it. I believe with my tout. I'm a big Kenny Ducey guy. I've been following Ducey since he was a Madden Sims guy. So he's my tennis tout in the background. So some of these, not all of these plays that I'm making, but some of them are inspired by him. If you're familiar, you can check out my YouTube videos. I have a council of dudes type setup where I am the king of the council. So I recognize my role and I'm making the picks. You got to recognize that you are the king of your own council. Either that or join me on Stake Kings. And welcome to my Council of Dudes, because now that I think about it, you are indeed a paying member of the Council of Dudes. So, Ashlyn Kruger, that's mighty rich. What's your odds of winning? That's actually fine. Pretty close. I'm going to put her down to 30. I feel like 25. Yeah, just on the ace upside. Because straight set's not really enough for her. It's got to be like a dominant win. And I mean, Lamons is bad. So it could be a dominant win. I'm not taking it all the way out. I'm putting her on the other side of all the straight sets that she would need to win. Putin-Seva, that's another one where it's like, what are we doing? It wants me to take a side in this Putin-Seva-Sierra fight. I don't really have a side. It's not really either one what I'm looking for. I'm going to just dial it back a little bit. Just go somewhere else. Don't do that. Like, we'll take a little of both sides, right? 15. Let's say for Sierra, 15. Yeah, right? Like, maybe 20 on the Putin-Seva side, but I'm not really convinced by this play. So I'm not going to go to it. I do see that the min ROIs are getting kind of negative there at the bottom, but those are for your learner TN lineups, the ones with the weird upsets that are obviously not very likely. So that's why they're bottom, lower percentage of ROI as well. Yes, okay. So yeah, we're doing unique rank, but it's all the same. That doesn't matter. All right, Bonzi, that's the other one where I don't know. What's his win percent? 60%. So his straight set win percent is actually only 30. So I'm getting a little hot on Bonzi there. Yeah, based on the way I've been doing this. I think that's a little hot. Yeah, his aces isn't even that crazy. So I presume it's just a misprice that everybody recognizes or something. But 30 is definitely even a little high. I think I'll go 25% because that's not one I believe with my bones either. That's just one that like every single number tells me to do. So yes, I still do the ones that every single number tells me to do, just not quite as much because I don't know, not feeling it. All right, so Evanescence has been really good. I've been watching her all year. I will take a little mini stand there. That's fine. Kruger still feels hot. Feels a little hot there. But she is one American I can get behind. I think it's an American, might be German. It's hard to tell, what's this? A lot of Herbert, huh? I don't know. How much Chloe Paquet? Okay, so her right. So that was one of my earlier points I was trying to make, which these people with really low salaries, you can go higher on win percents because even they're not straight sets wins, like a Lerner Tien upset, a Lloyd Harris upset, Duckworth, either of those guys gets a lot of aces, or Tabur over Mute, Delian over Monfils in prime time, Tadoni over Pegula. Those are weird wins. Paquet with the win. That's number one, not that unlikely, and number two, um, a ton of leverage, even if it's a 2-1 win, right? Because we're talking 5,700. It's not quite all the way. Like Duckworth, Tadoni, any win will do, right? Tien, any win will do. Not quite the same. Like it still has to be a couple of decent sets, and you didn't lose the lost set by that much. But almost any win will do still up in this Frech and Paquet region, and those win percents are pretty high. So that's why I'm getting up to high. Is it 20%? Yeah, 20% of both Frech and Paquet, which is really aggressive. I mean, and I have just called this lady a nobody a whole lot to be going 20%. 5x in my head, what I'm doing here is that a 5x stand is really strong. So if I really think that Paquet is 3%, I shouldn't be going higher than 15%, or else I'm taking a really big stand on a nobody I don't really know. So, but at the same time, the overall play, I'm sure that the field is wrong, right? And so I just don't know how much I can believe SaberSim's ownership's here. And I think, if anything, the field will condense more on the play that it thinks is right, which is where the field ownership is already going. So I'm not going to force this play down anymore, even though tomorrow I'm sure I'm going to look back at this and be like, why was I choosing Paquet to win this match? And the answer is her history, right? I don't know if I just had that up, but her match history, she just beat a bunch of women on clay, and her opponent has not beat a single one. So that's why. That's why I'm doing it. I have my reasons. Same with Ons. Ons hasn't won one on clay, looks terrible. Frech, I mean, I don't know, doesn't look great, but I mean, Ons can give them away when she is looking bad, and she is not looking great. Okay, and I mean, like, again, 6% is what we're expecting out of Frech anyway, because other people are onto this Ons thing. And that's like a 3x stand. That's not even that big of a stand as things go. It's kind of like, in my mind, I'm thinking of things like kind of like a third of the field is a really huge against, a half the field is a really huge against, or like a moderately huge against. Then you have field ownership. Then you have, like, I don't know, what did I just say? 3% is going pretty crazy. And then 5% is like three times and 5 times, or like a little bit and pedal to the metal, like big stands. And on a slate like this, don't want too many big stands. And actually, let's look at our opposite stands. What's the opposite stands? The ones that we are, okay. So obviously the ones where I have said, choose this guy are our main big stands, except for Kruger, which again, don't really feel Kruger. The numbers say it's fine though. So I kind of got to stick with it. Don't love it. If you don't want it, you don't have to do it. I guess that's kind of how I feel. Like, I don't have to do it. Maybe, I mean, it must be in the background numbers here. So, I should say, what are our rules? In the background, we are using a limiting factor to make sure our overall ownership doesn't get too crazy. It comes from calculating the size of this field, the number of duplicates you want. And basically, I want us to win $20,000 if we hit our parlay just right and it's the optimal parlay. So I don't want to be duped in tennis. And that's why I use Sheets rule in tennis. Shout out to Sheets. Thank you, the hookup for Stake Kings, etc. But that the geometric mean no more than 19. For me, it oscillates with field size and how much you want to win, etc. But I think I want to be definitely unique here. So it hasn't limited the field too much. I still get 5,000 possible lineups because it's 30. I mean, we got a ton of possibilities here, right? It's like 30 different matches, 60 dudes. So many dudes. I should be unclicking more dudes, if we're being honest. All the people I've unclicked for reasons of either I don't believe in them, like Hans Jabeur or Valentova. I think it's just massively. Are we talking 20%? We're talking 20% for this rando? I mean, yeah, I can see the implied win probability is 72%, but who cares? Who is this rando? Nobody. So anyway, I can't be with you on that, guys. If she takes it down, great. Whatever. And against the French hometown sweetheart, you guys have not watched enough French Open. They'd like to do the hometown sweet. It's going to be so loud for that one girl. Anyway, Ann Lee, Cartal, these are just plays where I just do not see the upside. Volanets, I'm glad I didn't get any same kind of thing. Pissarro, Roca, I told you why I'm not on them. The field is get more than 10% ownership on these guys. I don't know, guys. No meat on the bone, and each one expected 5 double faults. What if it's 10? You're dead. Doesn't matter if they win, clean sets. If they get 10 double faults. So anyway, that's why I'm not upset with any of these. Are we still doing it by fades? No. Now we're just doing it by projection. Let's do our leverage so I can tell you I can defend my fades. Well, look at that. All of our fades are the guys we unclicked and Hurkacz, who I said let's definitely fade him with the max ownership. So not surprised by any of those fades because they're out of my player pool. And then so Rublev just hasn't. I don't think he hasn't looked that good, and he has a ton of double faults. Three is being kind. He can really fall apart in that sense, and doesn't guarantee to get the other part of it with the aces. So I guess that's over 3 sets now. Fine. So over 3 sets, he'll get a few aces, but he's not going to get you the bonus necessarily. The bonus is 12, not 10 for the guys. Anyway, so yeah, obviously that's basically all of my negative 10 plus leverage plays are these guys I've unclicked exactly the way I want it. And then all my 10 plus leverage plays, once again, Kruger is standing out to me. That's not the play that like the rest of them are, So that's what I'm just going to lower her and I think Evanescence because I don't believe in them. Is that enough? I don't think that's enough. Yeah, I think I'm going to put Bonzi a little higher. Yeah, because it wanted him earlier. And then I'll go a little lower on the ones that I've been kind of gnawing at here. So Kruger back to 20%. And then the other thing that's been gnawing at me, Evanescence? It's just not really the same kind of stand. Yeah. I just don't see the upside with aces. The downside's there clearly. Well, she's a good player though. I don't want to be like overly down on her. She'll win probably 35% of them straight sets. Some of them could be nest. I mean, how many will be clean? How many will be optimal? 25%. Yeah. Well, let's just see. Do I have to knock her down, or is she even going to pop up? If I did another round of this, no. I just get my Bonzi back. Fonseca's up there at the very top of leverage, but not exposure. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Right. Just remember, this is leverage. Yeah. I like all these. Sakari looked fine. I tried to poke a hole in Sakari. Looked fine. Little high on Carly, but we already talked through this, and it's there, and it's the other side of the Ann Lee fade that I definitely am on. So okay, fine. I'm never going to be excited. The numbers are going to force me to play a number of these female athletes who I am otherwise not very excited to play. So that's why I'm trying to not be rude about it. Okay, let's look at our exposures. And we're talking for most of these now. Yeah, they're Carly and Sierra. We're talking about 7% leverage now. So, I'm on them. But the reason I'm on them is just all these other plays are bad plays, right? It's not that I'm particularly much on that particular play. It's just that compared to the other plays around them that have reasons, like game theory reasons, why people go like flock to them. Like you'll see, Sheet sometimes puts out the thing about how ownership is versus expected ownership, and I'll already tell you these guys up at the top, Djokovic, Draper, Hurkacz, the ones who are appearing in everybody's optimizers as optimal will be higher owned than what it says in your optimizer, because more people are using the optimizers in tennis than you would expect, which on the one hand is a little surprising because tennis, I mean, like, why do we got so many pros? But the reason is these aren't actually pros, right? These are all kind of like wannabe pros or guys who don't have subject-specific like knowledge. They don't know the game of this. They are porting in knowledge from, I don't know, MMA or whatever they're good at. And they're not waking up at 3 a.m. and watching French Open for 9 hours like some of us will. Thank you to Max. It's a pretty cool. I wish we could have a multi-view that choose your own multi-view. If you know how to do that, comment in the replies. But otherwise, yeah, I think this is a pretty good setup for tomorrow. I'm going to just commit these. Djokovic, Fonseca, Draper, Bonzi, Felix. That's a lot of Felix, but yeah, that's his. It's fine. Avanesian again. That's just kind of right there. She's just gonna win a lot. She's gonna win a lot by a lot. So same with Putin. I don't love them. It's just that they are for sure. They could win us. I mean, they could get 90 points tomorrow in a gross way, like complete falling apart of Solana Sierra or Angelina Kalinina or whatever, you know. So that's why they're there. Could happen, but my more firm plays are these like, no, you know what? Yeah, if I'm just saying my more firm plays are, and then it's 20 percentage. That's why I'm going to limit Avanesian is because I want her to be not disadvantaged versus the plays that I need to have, like Paquet and Frech. Those are the ones that yeah, if I'm going to get an extra percentage point, yeah, I want it to go to Felix. I want it to go to somebody who I'm choosing, not to just go to somebody that, like, because of indirect effects got on it. Okay, cool. And then everybody down here, you get the idea. Like, there's a reason we're paying for SaberSim at the end of the day. Thank you, SaberSim. You guys are great. I like the jersey. I didn't do a formal unveiling of the Hall of Fame because we were in the months I was doing 0 videos. But this is why I have SaberSim, because all of these guys are worth 5%. All of these guys are worth 5, 10, 15. They're all fine. Everybody I left in the field, you need to have a little bit, and you want it to be uncorrelated from each other so that when one of them wins and the other one loses, you're not completely screwed. So that's why we had, max 1 in common, 1 difference. You can change that to 2 if you want. I'm not gonna. I think it's fine as is. You can see we're getting the median still positive ROI, but it's still pretty, like 25. It's halfway down through the set. So we're plumbing the depths. We're going to get unique tomorrow, and it's going to be fine. I mean, like, it still has a lot of Djokovic. I've been watching a lot of Joker, so that's why I'm pronouncing that way. Draper, Kokogov. I mean, it's a firm fade on Zverev and Rublev, but I feel that way. It's a lot of mid-range, I guess, beyond the top guys, but that, I think, is the game theory for tomorrow. I'm fine with matching the field on Djokovic. I think he's going to absolutely nuke Mackenzie McDonald. So, yeah, that's why I've gone above and beyond. You know that my numbers would say what? 45% limit? Don't think so. I think he's going to absolutely crush. I think we might have some 6-0s in there. The numbers say I shouldn't. I say I'm a numbers guy. I just also don't believe he's going to be 49%. I think he's going to be 60%. So it's a defensive move that when you think of guys, you take the points, right? You know what I mean? Like, you just take the points eventually. So that's what we're doing there. We're taking the points. 30% is a little high on Fonseca, because he's only 53% to win, but he's also really, salary is still kind of high. Yeah, that's a little bit much. We'll go 25% Fonseca. You guys hear me keep trying to gear up to leave the show and then be 5% off on a guy. So this is a common thing in my life, being very, very nitpicky, and it's going to be fine. It'll probably be the thing that wins us, whatever, $20,000 more. Yeah. Oh, I love this. I love what I'm seeing now. Not a single person on here that I want to have any higher or lower. So on that note, I'm going to say, remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. Let's hope we're there for the sweat video tomorrow around, I guess, noonish Pacific time.